Inflation at the grocery store is coming down slightly. Prices for things like clothes and television and appliances are going down as well as we head into the holidays. This week we saw the growth in prices in business pay for goods and services to come down as well. Gas prices are down, but it's going to take time to get inflation back to normal levels as we keep our job market strong, so we could see setbacks along the way. I don't doubt that, but thus far we're in good shape. But we're laser focused on that. And in 6 short weeks, Americans are going to start to feel the effects of the Inflation Reduction Act. Now, I'm happy to take questions, and I'm told there are going to be 4 questioners, but I'm not going to do 10 questions from each questioner. All right? Let's make that clear at the outset here. And I think that we understand one another, which is the most important thing that can be done. I guess all of you are going swimming from here. It's not far. I can't have trouble reading this. Reuters, Netanya Bose. Sung Kim, Associated Press. Sebastian Smith, the AFP.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. It's extremely close. Excuse me, I don't usually talk that loudly.
I can just ask one more about this weekend. Why is the White House going against precedent and not letting any journalists in to cover a bit of this wedding that is taking place here at the People's House?
So let me just give you a little bit of a wedding TikTok, because I know many of you had some questions. So 11 a.m., the ceremony on the South Lawn will begin. Family wedding party luncheon immediately after, and then there will be an evening reception. But here's the thing, and here's the reality. The wedding of Naomi Biden and Peter is a private one. It's a family event, and Naomi Peter have asked that their wedding be closed to the media, and we are respecting their.
I'm looking at all of this video and images that we have of Tricia Nixon's wedding, Alice Roosevelt Longworth's wedding, the Johnson family's wedding, and the historic record that now exists because the press was let in and able to get a glimpse of it. Why not just let the press in for a few minutes to have access? And again, this is a wedding that's happening here at the People's House, not at a private residence.
Yes. I totally understand. It's happening at the People's House. It is a family event. And we are going to respect Naomi and Peter's wishes. This is going to be, the wedding of the.
The president turns 80 years old on Sunday. How will he be celebrating that moment?
So the First Lady is going to be having a brunch on Sunday for the president, and to celebrate the president's family. The president's birthday on Sunday with his family.
Would any single one of you hire Sam Brinkman-Fried to manage a food truck? Would any of you? Would any single one of you hire his girlfriend, Caroline Ellison, who apparently was trading billions of dollars, to manage a food truck? Can you tell me who in our federal financial services regulatory administrative state was watching FTX to make sure that no one there stole people's money? Or let me put it another way. If Congress cooperated and stopped spending money like it was ditch water, the Fed wouldn't have to raise rates as high. Is that a fair statement? To get control of inflation, of course.
I really won't have any comment on fiscal policy. We take the.
You think fiscal policy is irrelevant?
We take the fiscal policy that elected members of Congress and the president enact, and we calculate those in our decision making, but I don't have a comment on fiscal policy.
You don't have any comment on the contribution that fiscal policy makes to inflation?
I really don't have anything to add about that.
Add to what? You haven't told me anything.
Add to what I said before.
You're not telling me that fiscal policy has nothing to do with inflation, are you?
I'm telling you that at the Fed, we take our monetary policy responsibilities as ours, and we leave to the elected.
Well, don't you think you have a moral obligation, if not a legal obligation, if you think fiscal policy is contributing to the inflation?
With the leadership of the committee.
You left an oversight hearing before the Senate Judiciary Committee required by statute so you could vacation with your family. I find that absolutely unbelievable and frankly indefensible. Now, is it your practice to use government planes? You say you do this all the time. You flew in a Gulfstream 550, I think, that was originally purchased for counterterrorism purposes. You were using it to go to, what is it, Saranac Lake? So did you enjoy the flight? I mean, did you pay for it?
Yes, I paid for it.
Will you turn over all receipts and reimbursement to this committee?
Senator, we will be happy to comply with oversight requests related to the use of the plane, as I said, and it's important for people to understand.
Why don't you just give me a yes? Will you turn over the receipts
I will
for
turn
your
over
flight?
the information
This
related to my
committee.
use of the plane. Use the FBI plane.
How convenient for you.
And I pay every single time that I use the plane for personal
I'm
use.
glad it's
I pay
available
for
for
it.
you to jet away from your statutorily required hearings and oversight before this Congress, where you denied the ability of members of Congress to ask you questions because you had to go on a personal vacation using a government plane. Let's just look at some of the things while you've been vacationing that your FBI has been doing. According to numerous whistleblowers who have come forward to members of this body, to members of the House, the FBI has been sending more than, in one instance, a dozen, when in fact, the stats are being padded by political directive in your office. They also say, these whistleblowers, the DC leadership deliberately suppressed investigations into Hunter Biden, contrary to FBI procedure, and have also retaliated against FBI agents and whistleblowers who have contacted Congress, which, by the way, they are protected by statute to do so. This is what's happening at your FBI while you are evading oversight hearings. Mr. Director, do you think you're still up to this job?
I absolutely think I'm still up to this job, and I think our workforce feels the same way.
Well, I don't. And frankly, I think you should have been gone a long time ago.
The top Republican on the House Oversight Committee, Congressman Comer, has said that he's investigating the president's involvement in his son Hunter's foreign business dealings. Looking for your reaction to that, and then on the merits of the allegations, can you address whether the president was involved in any of his son Hunter or his brother's foreign business dealings?
So look, there's a little bit of interesting, kind of on-brand thinking here because, congressional Republicans ran saying that they were going to fight inflation. They're not coming up with solutions. How are we dealing with issues that matter the most or anything else that's related to this?
On camera as it relates to the merits of any of these allegations? Because
I've been
we
very
can speak
clear.
to them, but not on camera.
I've been very clear. It's like, Republicans said that they were going to, during the midterms, they were going to fight inflation, right? They said,
Given the path we're on, how high unemployment is going to go in order to get inflation down?
I think we're going to see unemployment go up, but I don't have a precise answer to your question.
Duh. I think you're right. I don't mean to make light of you. Can you give me any prediction how high? I mean, Summers and Furman are saying it's going to have to go through the roof.
I have seen a wide range of predictions about that, and as I
What
said,
are those
we're going to
ranges?
be data dependent. We're going
In conjunction with the leadership of the committee.
The ranking member, Chuck Grassley, asked you during the hearing, he said, I assume you must have other business. You said, yes. He then said, if you have a business trip, you've got your own plane, can't it wait a while? He then said, Chuck Grassley, we only just heard half an hour ago that now you have to leave. We were going to have a 7-minute round followed by a 3-minute round. I've got 7 people on my side of the aisle, that included me, who are waiting for this additional round. Is there any reason we can't accommodate them for 21 minutes? And you said you had a plane to catch. You had somewhere to go. And now we find out it was for vacation?
The reference to other business was not a reference to that day. It was a reference to the following week where Senator Grassley and I were going to see each other in Iowa when I had other business in Iowa, and I did in fact see him then.
So wait, you had to leave the hearing early because you're going to see him later in Iowa in a week?
No.
And I'm even more excited to introduce our next speaker, who is our new majority whip. The gentleman, I actually made one campaign promise. I said there'll be no more hockey analogies if I'm elected chairman. And as soon as he was elected, he walked straight over to me, leaned in and said, hockey analogies are back. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Emmer.
Excited to be in the majority. It's been 4 long years. House Republicans actually performed 2 cycles in a row, and we are going to be in the majority. And as our leader, Kevin McCarthy, said so well, we will be the only check on the Biden administration in a Democrat-controlled Senate over the next 2 years. We're excited to get to work. We're excited to be back in the majority, and I now have the great privilege to turn this over to one of the greatest fighters we have in America and in the Republican Conference, the fighting tiger from Louisiana, Steve Scalise.